Chapter 62-77. Nate and his party did not stay in Orris Hill for too long. After all, they had finished all the important matters on the first day. So they put aside their past grudges and gaps and had a 3-day tour of Orris Hill. On the last day of the 3-day tour, Steve booked the entire Classic Mansion and entertained these top lawyers from the United States. During this meal, Steve put aside the attitude of the heir of the Rothschild family and the aristocratic temperament. Instead, he replaced it with a very Orris Hill local underworld atmosphere. He lingered in front of each table and toasted with those younger brothers. Every younger brother was flattered and respected him very much, making him look like a respected big brother on the road. Since Steve was also a distinguished guest, Orville put down his work and came to Classic Mansion to serve in person. But he saw a bit of his own shadow in this Rothschild young master. After all, Steve had been in Orris Hill for some time. He had been exposed to Charlie's style of doing things and had visited several of Orville's industries in Orris Hill. To a certain extent, he understood the local customs and style. And now he was somewhat adapting to the local customs. Although Steve cordially invited Charlie to the dinner, Charlie finally declined. It was not that he had any objections to Steve, but mainly because he was not very interested in Jimmy's lawyers. In the future, these people would be handed over to Mai Ching. So he did not want to have too much contact with them. The day after the dinner, Nate flew back to the United States with his group. 2 weeks later, Jimmy would return to Orris Hill with 10 selected senior partners to report to Mai Ching. Helena also reported to Charlie on the progress of the AI model. According to the estimation of the engineering staff, the AI model would be officially put into production in about half a month. In the following days, Charlie was rarely relaxed. But this kind of life only lasted for 2 days. His mother-in-law Elaine told him on the phone that the old couple had booked a flight ticket and were ready to return to Orris Hill from Dubai. Originally, the two planned to stay in the UAE for a few more days. But Elaine couldn't stand Jacob's listless and sighing appearance every day. After playing for a few days, she finally couldn't help wanting to go home. It's no wonder that Jacob sighed every day. He had set up a trap for Peter Jew in the previous fake antiques incident. Not only did he lose money and lose face, but he also lost his job. No one would be in the mood to travel and have fun if they were him. Elaine and Jacob took a plane back to Orris Hill. And Charlie picked them up at the airport, because their plane landed at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Claire happened to have an appointment with Emgrand Group to touch up the progress of the previous project. So Charlie had to pick them up alone. As soon as they met, Charlie smiled and asked them, "Mom and Dad, how was your trip to Dubai this time?" Jacob was desperate and said with a forced smile, "It's okay, that's it." Elaine on the side said with some dissatisfaction, "Good son-in-law, you don't know. I'm almost annoyed to death by your father. He sighs all day long. I can even hear him sighing in the toilet when he poops. It's really a pity." Jacob said with a look of grievance, "I don't want to spoil the fun. But the key is that I really can't be happy." As he said that, Jacob quickly looked at Charlie and pleaded, "Good son-in-law, you have a good relationship with Master Orville. Can you help me talk to him and see if he can put some pressure on the surname Pei? That old grandson has been polite to me before. But Master Orville stopped speaking for me and he turned around and sold me out." Charlie nodded. "I heard about the matter. The surname Pei is indeed a bit unkind." "Yes." When Jacob heard that Charlie agreed with him, he immediately said, "Good son-in-law, this old BA5 Tard Pei is a typical person who uses people in front of him and not behind him. He is the kind of person who is told to pick up the bowl to eat and put down the chopsticks to curse his mother.